Spain occupies nearly 85% of the Iberian Peninsula and is home to over 47 million people. It's honestly one of Europe's most visited countries, and for good reason. The country offers centuries of layered history, a powerful regional identity, and some of the most iconic architecture, cuisine, and festivals on the continent.
This episode of 1 Week, 1 Country covers 7 carefully planned days across 3 of Spain's most compelling regions: Catalonia, Castile, and Andalusia, combining art, religion, food, nature, and daily life. We begin in Barcelona, then travel by high-speed rail to Madrid and Toledo, before heading south to the Moorish cities of Seville and Granada. Along the way, we'll explore Roman ruins, Gothic cathedrals, Islamic palaces, and bustling marketplaces, with clear travel advice, budget guidance, and insider tips included throughout. Before we begin, can I ask you to support Travelers Treasure Globe by liking and subscribing to our channel? Thank you, it means a lot to us. With that said, let's begin.
Barcelona, the capital of Catalonia, is known for its distinct identity within Spain, culturally, linguistically, and politically. The city blends Gothic heritage with modernist architecture, drawing over 12 million visitors annually. Your day begins at the Sagrada Familia, one of the most famous religious structures in the world, and still under construction after more than 140 years. Designed by Antoni Gaudí, it combines Art Nouveau with Christian symbolism and is scheduled for completion in 2026. Entry to the Sagrada Familia with tower access costs around £30, and pre-booking online is strongly recommended to avoid long queues. From here, head to Park Güell, another Gaudí creation where colourful mosaics overlook the cityscape and Mediterranean Sea.
As you continue through the Gothic quarter, you'll find yourself wandering one of Europe's best-preserved medieval centres. Some key landmarks to look out for are the Barcelona Cathedral and, of course, the remnants of the ancient Roman wall. Now, when it comes to lunch, I'd really recommend trying paella tomàquer. That's Catalan-style bread with tomato and olive oil, and maybe follow it up with botifarra, which is a traditional sausage served with white beans. You can usually get a full lunch menu in this area for around £12 to £18, so it's quite a good deal. In the evening, it's lovely to walk along Paseo de Gracia to see Casa Batlló and La Pedrera. These are 2 modernist residential buildings, and their designs are just fascinating. They're meant to resemble things like bones, waves, and even chimneys. Oh, and here's a travel tip. Use the T10 travel card for the metro system. It's valid for 10 rides and really offers good value if you're planning to move around the city. And if you're thinking about where to stay, boutique hotels or short-term apartments in central districts like Eixample or El Born usually range from £60 to £100 per night, depending on the season.
About 30 miles northwest of Barcelona, you'll find Montserrat, which is a mountain range famous for its unique rock formations and its 11th century Benedictine monastery. It's honestly a breathtaking spot, and perfect if you're looking for a bit of adventure or some peaceful scenery away from the city. Okay, so to reach Montserrat, you'll want to hop on the R5 train from Plaça España in Barcelona, and then you can choose either the aerial cable car or the rack railway for the final stretch. The whole journey takes about 90 minutes in total, and it'll cost you around £25 if you get the combined transport pass. Now, the monastery itself is home to the Black Madonna. That's a really revered statue of the Virgin Mary, and it's actually one of the most important pilgrimage sites in Spain. Entry to the basilica is free, by the way, but if you want to check out the Montserrat Museum, which features works by Picasso and Dalí, that's going to be about £7.
There are several hiking trails that start right at the monastery, and honestly, they offer some pretty stunning panoramic views of Catalonia. One of the most popular options is the Sant Jeroni Trail, which takes around 2 hours for a round trip. Now, if you're wondering what to eat, the monastery cafeteria serves up hot meals and snacks. Local favorites include canelons, that's Catalan-style cannelloni, and matto, which is a fresh cheese usually served with honey. Lunch here will set you back about £10 to £12. Here's a little travel tip for you. Weekdays are definitely quieter. Try to arrive early to avoid those midday crowds, especially if you're visiting on a weekend. And then, when you head back to Barcelona in the evening, consider having dinner in El Born. It's honestly one of the city's most atmospheric neighborhoods.
Madrid is Spain's capital and largest city. Known for its expansive boulevards and elegant architecture, it's also the country's center of politics, finance, and royal history. Start your visit at the Royal Palace, the official residence of the Spanish monarchs. While not inhabited, it is still used for state ceremonies. Entry costs around £11, and the changing of the guard takes place on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Opposite the palace is the Almudena Cathedral, which took over 100 years to complete and combines neo-Gothic and neo-Romanesque design. Walk toward Plaza Mayor, an enclosed 17th-century square used historically for bullfights and public executions. It's now a popular spot for cafes and street performances. What to eat?
Try bocadillo de calamares. That's a fried calamari sandwich, a Madrid specialty served in dozens of bars surrounding Plaza Mayor. Pair it with a cana, which is a small beer for under £8. Spend your afternoon in El Retiro Park, a green space that was once owned by Spanish royalty. Rowboats can be rented on the central lake, and the entrance is free, which is always a nice bonus. Close by, you'll find the Prado Museum, home to masterpieces by Velázquez, Goya, and El Greco. Here's a quick travel tip. Use the Abono Turistico travel card to access unlimited rides on Madrid's metro and buses. A 2-day pass costs about £15. And when it comes to accommodation, hotels in central districts such as Sol or Chueca range from £55 to £90 per night, depending on the time of year.
Toledo, located just 30 minutes from Madrid by train, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site that really reflects a time when Muslims, Christians, and Jews lived in close proximity during medieval Spain. Begin at the Toledo Cathedral, a Gothic marvel built between the 13th and 15th centuries. Entry costs £8, and guided tours are available in multiple languages. Then wander through the Jewish Quarter, home to the Synagogue of El Transito and the Museum of Sephardic Culture, both of which shed light on Spain's once thriving Jewish communities.
So, what should you eat in Toledo? Well, the city is famous for venison stews, roast partridge, and mazapan, which is this sweet almond-based dessert with Moorish origins. Oh, and a typical set lunch in Toledo will set you back about £10 to £14. Here's a quick travel tip. Make sure you wear comfortable shoes, because Toledo is steep and cobbled. Also, just so you know, return trains to Madrid are frequent, but they can totally sell out during peak seasons. Oh, and here's a fun fact. Toledo has long been known for sword making, and many souvenir shops still sell replicas made using traditional forging techniques.
Welcome to Seville, the capital of Andalusia and honestly, the cultural heartbeat of southern Spain. With its Moorish past, Catholic heritage, and deep flamenco roots, this city doesn't just preserve history, it performs it. Start your visit at the Royal Alcázar of Seville, a 14th century palace that's still used by the Spanish royal family. The architecture here blends Islamic, Gothic, and Renaissance elements. It's really a reflection of Spain's layered history. Entry costs around £13, and if you can, a guided tour offers deeper insight into the site's Arab and Christian legacies. Across the square lies the Seville Cathedral, which is actually the largest Gothic cathedral in the world. It houses the tomb of Christopher Columbus, and honestly, an intricately carved altar that took over 80 years to complete. You can climb the Giralda Tower, which was originally a minaret, for these, panoramic views of the city. Admission is included with the Alcázar when you book as a combined ticket. Take a walk through the Santa Cruz district, the former Jewish quarter, where bougainvillea spills from balconies and, tapas bars hum with conversation. Narrow alleys open suddenly into courtyards filled with fountains and jasmine.
What to eat? Order espinacas con garbanzos, which is spinach with chickpeas, a local Sevillian dish with Moorish origins. For dessert, you should definitely sample torrijas, a cinnamon-drenched variation of French toast. A generous tapas lunch for two with drinks will cost around £20 to £25. In the evening, head to a tablao flamenco. While touristy spots exist, venues like Casa de la Memoria or La Carboneria really maintain authenticity. Expect emotional vocals, intricate guitar rhythms, and percussive footwork that reverberates through centuries. The Seville Cathedral was built on the site of a mosque, and the cathedral's bell tower, the Giralda, is actually a repurposed minaret. Travel tip: book Alcazar and cathedral tickets online at least 48 hours ahead. Seville gets busy, especially during weekends and local festivals. Combined entrance to both the Alcazar and cathedral is around £15. A flamenco show with a drink costs £15 to £20, and a charming boutique stay in Seville's Old Town averages £50 to £80 per night.
So, just about 45 minutes by high-speed train from Seville, you'll find Cordoba. This city was once the capital of Islamic Spain, and honestly, it became a real center for art, science, and religious tolerance during the medieval era. The city's defining landmark is, without a doubt, the Mezquita Cathedral. It started out as a mosque, but after the Christian Reconquista, it was converted into a cathedral. Once you step inside, you'll see 856 red and white columns that form these hypnotic arcades, and right in the center, there's a Renaissance altar. It's such a unique fusion of religious traditions, and honestly, you rarely find that in just one building. Entry costs £10, and you can choose an audio guide or go for an in-person tour if you'd like. You'll want to wander through the Jewish quarter and along the Calleja de las Flores, which is, by the way, one of the most photographed streets in Spain. Make sure to visit the Alcázar de los Reyes Cristianos, which was once home to Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand. Cordoba is also famous for its patios, these gorgeous flower-filled courtyards tucked behind iron gates. During May's patio festival, a lot of them are open to the public, but even if you're not there in May, you'll still catch some lovely glimpses.
So what should you eat in Cordoba? Well, you've got to try salmorejo, which is this thick, creamy tomato soup topped with cured ham and egg. Honestly, it's cooler and richer than gazpacho. And don't miss flamenco, a deep-fried roll of jamon and pork that's super satisfying. Lunch in Cordoba will usually cost you around £10 to £15. Oh, and here's a handy travel tip. The Mezquita is actually free to enter between 8:30 and 9:30 in the morning on weekdays, making it a brilliant way to enjoy the site in near silence. As for your budget, train fare from Seville to Cordoba starts at about £12 each way. Entry to major sites will total around £15 to £20, and if you're looking for a comfortable hotel near the Old Town, expect to pay £40 to £60 per night. By the 10th century, Cordoba was one of the most advanced cities in Europe, with street lighting, libraries, and over 500,000 inhabitants.
Your final stop is Granada, nestled right at the foot of the Sierra Nevada mountains. Once the last Muslim kingdom in Spain, Granada fell to the Catholic monarchs in 1492, which, by the way, is the same year Columbus set sail. The crown jewel here is the Alhambra, a sprawling palace fortress complex known for its Islamic architecture, tranquil gardens, and panoramic views. Built by the Nasrid dynasty in the 13th century, it features impossibly intricate stucco work, Arabic calligraphy, and quiet reflecting pools. To avoid disappointment, book your Alhambra tickets at least 2 weeks in advance. Entry costs around £15, and only a limited number of visitors are allowed per time slot. Explore the Generalife Gardens, once the Sultan's summer retreat. Then head downhill into the Albayacin, Granada's oldest neighborhood. Here, whitewashed houses and narrow stairways echo its Moorish past. End your trip at the Mirador de San Nicolás, a lookout with unmatched views of the Alhambra against a backdrop of snow-dusted peaks.
What to eat? Granada is famous for its tapas culture. Order a drink and tapas come free. Try berenjenas con miel, which is fried eggplant with honey, and pisto andaluz, a Spanish ratatouille. A night of drinks and tapas can cost as little as £12 per person. Travel tip. The C1 minibus is your best bet for navigating Granada's steep, narrow lanes. Walking is scenic, but tiring. Alhambra entry, £15. Tapas and drinks, £10 to £15. Hotels in central Granada range from £40 to £70 per night, with many offering views of the Alhambra. Granada was the last Muslim stronghold in Spain, surrendering to Catholic rule in 1492, over 700 years after the initial Islamic conquest.
Spain's strength lies in its contrasts. Islamic palaces beside Gothic cathedrals, Roman ruins beneath modern plazas. Every region tells its own story, sometimes in a different language, often to a different rhythm. In just 1 week, you've explored 3 of Spain's most vivid regions. From Gaudí's Barcelona to the royal halls of Madrid and the tiled courtyards of Andalusia, this journey only scratches the surface. Spain rewards curiosity, patience, and appetite, and it will always have more to show you.
If this guide helped shape your itinerary, leave a comment below and tell us which moment stole your heart. And don't forget to subscribe to Traveler's Treasure Globe for more cinematic guides across the world. 1 week, 1 country at a time.